Our morning lows so far this morning have been between 3 and 8 below. Now, we're still cold, but it doesn't take much of a wind to get us from 10 to 25 below wind chills. That's why we have an extreme cold warning that's in place through noon today. Temperatures are very cold, looking at the frozen Grafton with some wind above the surface as well. Our snowfall totals also play a part of that. It allows us to really fall and adds 2, 3, 4, 5 more degrees to that as we have fresh snowpack anywhere from 8 to about 13, 14 inches in some cases. We got to 4 below in St. Louis, 16 below Salem, 9 below in Chesterfield, and it's still very cold. Our temperature at the airport right now still remains on the cold side, but it's 2 below. It feels like 19 below. A west breeze at 10 miles an hour makes a big difference. That is not taking much for us to get things moving around. You see it as fully sunny. That's at least a positive, but it's not going to do any melting whatsoever today. Our current temps are starting to go up a little bit. We're trying to get there, but it's still 9 below in Chesterfield. Arctic cold air is in place, and it feels like 19 below in St. Louis, as mentioned. Otherwise, 20 to 25 below. These very cold conditions will persist throughout the rest of the morning. Look, by 11:15, it feels like 6 below, and that feels like a heat wave in comparison. But by the afternoon, we at least get to 15 for our temperature, but it feels like 2. That gets us out of that extreme cold warning criteria. And even as I continue to scan this in the overnight hours, watch how things improve. A south-southwest breeze, yeah, it gets cold, but that southwest breeze actually helps bring our temperatures up and is not all that cold overnight by comparison. Very cold air still is in place this week because I think we see a second Arctic blast bringing our temperatures down in the afternoon, but we have a week below freezing. We're going to be remaining snow-free, meaning I really put the onus on clearing the driveway, sidewalks, things like that now, or because as you do it, you're not going to have to do it again. And then honestly, once the sun comes out in the next couple of days, things will improve to some degree. But I still think that overall our temperatures are 15 to 25 below. And because of that, we're not really going to see much melting unless you're in the direct sunlight or there's a couple of days that brief period continues. Mid to upper 20s, it's cold outside, our weather impact alert continues. And then as we head throughout Thursday and Friday, very cold air still in place. We are very cold overall, but temperatures in the mid to upper 20s. And for the most part, like I said, these days I could see us starting to clear out a little bit on the pavement surface, but there's no day above freezing the next 7 days. I think as we head to next week, there are going to be several days in a row, but it's just very cold and below average outside at the moment.
Our weather impact coverage continues right now. We want to go across the river in Illinois.
Yeah, let's get out to Holden Kerwicki, who's been, showing us where. Oh, what are you doing there,
he's
Holden?
working.
You working? Be very careful.
You know, earlier Tracy was really enjoying taking her time going across that bridge, so I thought, guys, I'm just going to go home. Because a lot of people are waking up to, like I have here this morning. I got up last night, I shoveled my driveway, I salted it, but once the snow plows went through, I still have this nice little berm out here, in front of my house that honestly I've got to dig out. But, a lot of people are going to be waking up just like me today. This is a neighborhood here, Fallon, Illinois, and I'm standing in the middle of the street right now. You can see exactly what it looks like. They came through about 8 o'clock last night and really shoved a lot of this snow out of the way. I'm a little out of breath. Maybe need to work out a little more from trying to shovel that snow. But while this road is passable, it's still pretty slick out here. If you can see down here, we're not all the way down to the pavement, but a lot of people, if you didn't get out and prepare, you're going to be waking up like my neighbors over here. I'm sorry, Bob and Andrea. I have to, shame you a little bit. They didn't get out. They didn't, shovel their driveway. Maybe I'll be a good neighbor, go over there, help them out a little bit, but I don't think that Beamer's going out, that driveway anytime soon. Now, even the people who did try and prepare just a little bit, look, they're out by the road, had their, their wipers up. Unfortunately, once the snowplows came through, those cars are now buried in just a little bit. So people are going to have to, even if they're not getting out on the roads, today, or if they are getting out just a little bit, they're going to have to get out and dig out. Now, the good news is the interstates and the highways all looking much better. When I got out about 2:30 this morning, the one thing I noticed, there was only about 1 lane open on I-64. However, as the morning has gone on, they're in 2 lanes each directions, and Joe Monroe, the District 8 engineer, told me that's going to improve throughout the day. He said that today is actually key, despite the frigid temperatures, to really trying to set up the roads for the rest of the week. Let's hear a little bit of that interview.
we are going to throw everything we have at it. If we have to unbolt the kitchen sink and throw at it, we'll throw an actual kitchen sink out there. So we are calcium chloride, we are rock salt. We have every truck at our disposal that is out if it's working. You can probably hear some hammering in the background. I'm actually at the Belleville yard. They're working on getting some trucks out. So we're basically in our third day. There is some equipment attrition that we have to address. So I'm going to guess we're between 190 and 200 trucks.
190 and 200 trucks out on the roadway. The one thing I noticed this morning as I've gone from Fairview Heights into Shiloh, Swansea, and now into O'Fallon, it's about every 30 minutes. They seem to be running circuits, trying to get those roads clear, trying to let a little bit of the sunlight that you can see hitting my face, warm up the roadways a little bit. But, everybody, if you live in a neighborhood like I do, this is what you're going to be dealing with. This right here. Roads are going to be looking like this. Now, you can get out, but go slow. Please, I'm urging you. You heard Tracy even say that the anti-lock brakes have come on twice. They're not going very fast. So this is what you're going to be dealing with. Please, with this frigid cold, just stay indoors if you can. Reporting live in O'Fallon, Illinois, Holden Kerwicki, Fire on your side.
Sometimes, the fresh fallen snow looks good enough to eat, and there are plenty of recipes on the internet using snow, but should you?
So I was listening to my daughter and a bunch of other kids talking about eating snow, and then one of the kids said, "Don't do it, it's full of pollution." So I set out to verify it. Our question, is it true snow contains pollutants? Let's verify. Our sources, Dr. Michael Besessi, Environmental Health Sciences at The Ohio State University, the American Lung Association, and Nationwide Children's Hospital, where the pediatrics department warns as snow is falling, it collects small but measurable amounts of chemical contaminants in the air. Dr. Besessi says this is from things like plane and car exhaust or potentially toxic chemicals from heating emissions, natural fires, and industrial processes. Snow can also absorb pollutants on the ground when it lands. Both health experts agree how polluted snow is varies depending on how polluted the air is. Cities will have more air pollution than rural areas. So the Verify team checked the pollution in the St. Louis region. According to the American Lung Association's 2025 report card, which uses EPA data, our region is ranked 17th in the country for year-round particle pollution and number 21 for ozone pollution, which has nothing to do with the ozone layer. It's what you're actually breathing on the ground. We can verify, yes, snow does contain pollutants from our atmosphere. And our experts say for the safest consumption of snow, choose falling snow on less windy days that is white, never plowed, and never in direct contact with the ground. What can I verify for you? Send me an email. The email address is verify@ksdk.com.
Now, since the snow began, we've received so many pictures and videos of viewers having fun in this winter weather.
Yeah, and I don't know if y'all realize it or not, but you're like our on-the-ground reporter. So when we have these big storm events, you're the first to see it, and so we really appreciate it when you send those in. This morning, we want to shout out some of our favorites. We start with these awesome photos of 10-year-old Clay chilling inside an igloo. I know that's right. Wow. This was sent to us from his family out in Salem, Illinois.
That's so cool. We also have a picture of 3 little birds spotted out in Farmington. How beautiful. This photo was taken by Carrie Brockenkamp, who spent part of her snow day bird watching.
All right, so we know clearing snow isn't always fun, but Jeff Spears out in O'Fallon tried his best. Take a look at the snow shovel he added to the front of his motorcycle to help with the cleanup. You gotta do whatever you can.
Yeah.
Do what you got. We're not sure how well that worked out for him, but it sure is a valiant effort.
I love it. You have to be a little bit creative right now.
You do.
Yeah, and have some fun.
You do.
We would love to see more of your snow adventures from over the weekend. You can text them to us, 314-425-5355. Be sure to include your name and your location. Love seeing it. And also just be safe when you send them.
Yes.